Hello and welcome to SGPN's The Daily Dog. I'm your host, Britton Hess. I'm here with my favorite Underdog fantasy pick-em plays for Friday, May 2nd, 2025. I also got picks for Saturday. I got some for Sunday, or at least one pick for Sunday as well. We got playoffs going all weekend long, so I don't want to miss out on that playoff action. If you're new to Underdog, as I said, sign up with promo code DailyDog, 50% deposit match bonus. Also take advantage of all the promos. If you've been playing the extender thing on Underdog, you got 100%. You got 100% boost on your next three-leg NBA entry. So that's pretty sick. If you hit that one, that covers a lot of ground for you. Speaking of covering some ground, we had a nice day yesterday on this show. Ended up hitting MLB entry number 1. That was 3.21x. MLB entry number 2. That was 3.33x. So that was also awesome. We got home with one of our pitchers lineups. We had no innings scored in the first run in the Nats against the Phillies, and we had one in the Rockies against the Giants. The home run by Hellebuyck Ramos gets that one home. So that was 3.49x. Love these juicy ones coming home. Our Dong Squad flex, we got 2 out of 3 there. We got a home run with Torkelson and with Hellebuyck Ramos. Beautiful stuff. We were one leg short of greatness. Schwarber goes 0 for 3 at the plate yesterday. But hey, you're not going to hit those very often. 2 out of 3 he pays for a lot of entries. We're still running good in the home run department since this show has come back during NBA or MLB season. And then also got to say, we tried out the ladders yesterday. We got it the 1X. So Cade Cunningham had 23 or over 23 points. Jalen Brunson had over 23 points. Kawhi had over 21 points. We didn't get any extra bonuses there because Cade was a little bit short. If Cade would have hit 28, we would have got a 3X on that. But he did not. Brunson would have got all the way up to 39, so he would have covered the 25X if all these guys would have got there. But hey, we get to run that back and roll it over today and do it again. No loss on the ladders. First day of using it. Let's do it again today. So as I said, we got MLB entries for today. We got NBA. We got NHL. We got the pitchers lineups. We got the Lotto. We got the Dong Squad. We got the ladder. We got Saturday NBA, Saturday NHL, UFC, and Sunday NBA. So a lot to get to today, more than most shows. So I'm going to quit talking about the past and let's get into it. MLB entry number 1, Teoscar Hernandez, higher than 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. I just don't think Holmes is that good of a pitcher for the Braves. We're going to get good hitting weather out there. Teoscar gets to bat after some real killers in Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, and Freddie Freeman. There's usually men on, and there's also guys behind him that can drive him in, especially when guys like Andy Pages are hitting well. Obviously, Will Smith, Max Muncy, all these guys. So there's a lot of ways for Teoscar to get there. I mean, he's a guy who can hit a home run and get this thing done real quick. Then I'm with Matt Chapman, higher than 1.5 total bases, like Chapman in against Sanzatella for the Rockies here. It's good weather in San Francisco. That park weather, wind doesn't matter all that much, all that often. Thing is, Chapman's just a real good hitter. I think the Giants are going to get back on track here, and I believe that if they get to the pen, the sooner the better. But obviously, Chapman's capable of knocking in some doubles and triples or home runs. But to get a couple singles here is definitely on the menu versus this Rockies pen. 3.13x multiplier there. MLB entry number 2, Carlos Correa, higher than 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs against Brian Bello and the Red Sox. Good hitting weather in Boston today. Very good hitting weather in Boston. Correa also started the season a little bit slow, but he's been hitting his stride. He's been pretty lethal at the plate in the last couple games, last week or so. I think that's going to continue here because I think that there's going to be runs available in this game. So higher than 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Then Bobby Witt, on fire right now, higher than 8.5 fantasy points. Obviously, he can get this done with one swing of a home run, but also he's a guy that steals bases. He's guys that drives guys home. He's a guy that gets home himself. You could play 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs, but I think that honestly just spreading the love with the fantasy points, because again, you get so many points for a stolen base. It makes sense here for Bobby Witt. So Bobby Witt Jr. higher than 8.5 fantasy points, 2.61x multiplier. NBA entry number 1, we are going to go with Alperen Sengun, higher than 21.5 points. Guys are getting in his face. He's getting getting a little chippy out there. I think that the series probably ends tonight in the Bay. But I think Sengun is going to leave his mark on this game. A little bit more on him later. Then also Jimmy Butler, second game back after the injury, not as good as the first one, but I do think at home, 22.5 points, he is going to be ready to go. They got their training staff. They got all their facilities there. He's going to be ready to perform in a big postseason spot. Alperen Sengun higher than 21.5 points. Jimmy Butler higher than 22.5 points, 3.15x multiplier. NBA number 2, Amen Thompson higher than 13.5 points. Been riding these Thompson brothers lately in these NBA entries. I'm going to keep doing it here. He had a good game 2 days ago. His brother had a good one yesterday. Now it's his turn to have another good one. Again, he's been good in this series. And then I'm going to take Brandin Podziemski higher than 2.5 3-pointers made. I know that he is like the fourth fiddle on this team at best, but sometimes he gets hot from threes and just carries. I mean, he had an 8-point 3-pointer game in the postseason already, or 8 3-pointer game already in the postseason. So higher than 2.5 in a do or die scenario. Let's go. 3-pointers for Brandin Podziemski. 3.45x multiplier on that one. NHL, number one. Jake Neighbors of the Blues, higher than 0.5 points. This guy has been very productive lately. They're not really, I think that people just think that like he's getting some variance luck here. But to be honest with you, Jake Neighbors has been playing well in this series. He's been getting involved in a lot of points, even throughout the closing part of the regular season. He was getting involved. He didn't have a point in his last game. 2 games ago, he had a goal and 2 assists. The game before that, he had an assist. In game 1 of the series, he had an assist. I like my chances for Neighbors to get a point here, and you're getting an enhanced multiplier with that. Then I'm taking Kyle Connor higher than 0.5 assists. I know Kyle Connor, he is the do-it-all offensive man for this Jets team. He's been scoring pretty well in the postseason so far, but that does not mean that Kyle Connor cannot continue to do what he did all season long, which is get assists. If you look at his game log in this series, he had 2 assists in the last game. He had 2 assists in game 1, and he's had 4 goals in this series as well. But I think the assists is what's going to be on the menu here. Then NHL entry number 2. It feels like I'm splitting. I'm threading the needle here, but I think Connor Hellebuyck's going to allow higher than 2.5 goals, and Jordan Binnington's going to allow higher than 2.5 goals. I think that we're going to get another kind of high scoring, crazy game here, kind of like what we saw in Edmonton yesterday. I think the Blues win this game, but I do think that there's going to be enough goals available for both guys. So both these goalies allowing higher than 2.5. That is a 3.18x multiplier if that thing comes home as expected. Pitchers, number 1, Michael Wacha of the Royals, Dean Kramer of the Orioles, higher than 0.5 first inning runs allowed. Good hitting weather. Kramer is a menace out there in a bad way. He is not very good this year. I think that the offense is clicking a little bit for the Royals. Don't let them get hot. Kramer has not been able to stop many runs at all, especially versus a team that has Bobby Witt batting in the first inning. And then Wacha, love him or hate him, he's kind of a mediocre guy, pretty maybe underappreciated, but I think that there's a good potential that one of these big bats for the Orioles can drive in a run in the first inning on that side as well. Then I'm taking Antonio Senzatella plus Robbie Ray, Senzatella, and Robbie Ray lower than 0.5 first inning runs allowed. We saw Heliot Ramos, got the first inning run for us yesterday, but I don't necessarily think that's going to happen back to back. This is a 2.51x multiplier, a little bit more conservative here, but again, I like it. Pitchers, number 2, Tariq Skubal and Jose Soriano, lower than 0.5 first inning runs allowed. Soriano can give you good nine outs, and then I believe that Tariq Skubal is going to be tough. It's going to be tough for the Angels to score at all against Skubal here, so lower than 0.5 first inning runs allowed. And then pitchers number 2, Ben Brown, Quinn Priester, higher with 0.5 first inning runs allowed in that game between the Cubs and the Brewers. Brown, he's had some good moments as a young pitcher, but I don't necessarily think it's going to be a good showing here, especially after the Brewers laid an egg yesterday. They're going to be rearing to go offensively. And then Quinn Priester, I don't love him as a starting pitcher, and the bats for the Cubs are absolutely epic. That's how I'll put it. 2.61x multiplier there. Lotto number 1, we're going to go with Steph Curry, higher than 4.5 3-pointers made in this game. I know that I'm taking a lot of overs in that game, but Steph Curry, we just got to hit it. Let's just thread this needle, all right? Steph Curry, higher than 4.5 3-pointers made. Robert Thomas of the Blues, higher than 1.5 points. This man is the machine for the Blues. Shohei Ohtani, higher than 0.5 stolen bases. 22.3x or 11.18x if you flex it. 3.27 if it goes 2 out of 3 on that flex. Dong Squad, Brent Rooker, higher than 0.5 home runs against the Marlins on the road in Miami. Rooker against Blasio, I think he's going to be good there, and he's also going to be good against his bullpen. Freddie Freeman returning to Atlanta, higher than 0.5 home runs. A good spot against a not very good righty. And then Alex Bregman, higher than 0.5 home runs. Man, hitting in this park in Boston works well for Alex Bregman. Let's get a home run here against the why can't I remember that he's playing the Twins? 86.61x if you flex it, 43.3x or 6.11x if it goes 2 out of 3. As I mentioned yesterday, flexing is where it's at. We got to flex home yesterday. We got to go back to the ladder now. Ladder, Jimmy Butler, 19 plus points. Alperen Sengun, 18 plus. Podziemski, 11 plus points. That's how we get our money back. If Butler goes for 23, Sengun 22, and Podziemski 15, that's 3x. If we get Butler 31, Sengun 30, and Podziemski 22, that's 25x. I like it. Let's make some money on that one. Saturday NBA number 1, Nikola Jokic higher than 9.5 assists. James Harden higher than 20.5 points, 3.15x. Let's go James Harden. Let's go Nikola Jokic. Saturday NHL number 1, Martin Necas higher than 0.5 points. Mikhail Granlund higher than 0.5 points, 2.75x. UFC number 1, Bo Nickel fight time lower than 12.5 minutes against Renier de Ritter. Both these guys are looking for finishes on the ground. It's going to be a really interesting. It's going to be really interesting to see how this thing plays out. These guys can't strike; they got to grapple, and if they do strike, someone's getting KO'd probably. Azamat Bakoya fight time lower than 12.5 minutes against Loader. I think that these guys are also going to be hunting for the finish. This thing's going to be done in the first 2 rounds. 3x multiplier there. UFC number 2, Montel Jackson fight time lower than 14.99 minutes against Daniel Marcos. Marcos can gas out, and also Montel Jackson has fallen in love with his hands lately. 3 of his last 4 wins have been KOs. I think there's a good potential there. Mason Jones, fight time lower than 11.5 minutes against Jeremy Lil Heathen Stevens, making a return to the UFC since 2021. He's been doing BKFC and all this other crap. It's time. He's not going to be wasting time in the octagon. 3.6x multiplier. NBA entry number 1, Evan Mobley, higher than 17.5 points. This is for Sunday. Tyrese Haliburton, higher than 18.5 points, 3.12x multiplier. All right, long show, lots of entries. That's all I got for you today. Thank you for listening. Good luck on your picks, and let's make some money.